Hey house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 20 updates and spoilers. Our house guest today is Sarah Williams. What up, Sarah? Thanks so much for the support. We really appreciate it and we think you're awesome. And if you guys want to be house guests today like Sarah, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, why do I feel like I'm freaking sitting here like Mariah Carey right now doing a confessional? I don't know. But anyway, Rockstar got stuck on the rock wall yesterday. That's so sad and so ironic with her name. But anyway, she climbed all the way up the wall and she was fine. But then when it was time to come down, I think she got down like halfway and she was just like, "Aah!" She was afraid. She was afraid to come down. So she was like, "Can I get a ladder?" She was freaking out. She was frozen. She was just like, so a bunch of people were trying to coach her, trying to get her down that wall. Just let go. It's not like you're going to crash down. But she was scared, you know? I think she was saying that it was scary for her because she didn't want to fall, like, facing the wall. It just felt weird to her. The feeds even went down for a little bit. I think she was stuck up there for, like, a total of 20 minutes. And that just makes me so sad. But at least she made it down, right? Good for you. Alright, so let's talk about the game a little bit. At this point, Brett has the votes to stay, but it's close. The house is pretty evenly split at this point. So Winston was campaigning to Tyler in the storage room. He's like, "Man, I know you got a lot of influence with people, so I feel like I should, really talk to you." Winston is not good at campaigning. Let me just put that out there. He is not good at this. So he's telling Tyler, "If you keep me, we are going to run this thing." Are you though? He says, "I know on this show it's not good to have somebody who's like emotional and blowing up at people." And he said, "I had my one little blow up on Scotty." And I'm just like waiting for him to say like, "And that'll never happen again." Or like, "And I know it was really stupid and I won't do it." But he just like didn't complete that thought because if Winston stays, he's gonna blow up on everybody all day, every day. So anyway, he also says, "I know it looks like Brett is better than me in competitions. He's done better than me so far, but I'm due to win one." Again, not a great argument there, but he says he really wants to stay. So then Winston, I just feel like he's not making it any better for himself. He says if he stays, he would like to throw the next HOH and kind of just like sink back into the shadows, but he'll win if he has to. No! If your butt is on the line, you gotta tell people you're going for that HOH, this is who you're gonna put up, this is who you're going after, and it better be somebody that they don't like. Okay, you don't say that you're gonna like not win and you're just gonna slink into the shadows again. Flash, please. So anyway, yeah, he's not good at this. So then they talk about Sam's power, wondering if that's a possibility, if maybe she could use it on one of the bros. And Tyler's like, so about that, Kaitlyn really screwed up. She told everybody about it, and now Sam feels like she can't use it because everybody knows she has it, and it would make her a huge target if she used it on one of you guys. And also, Sam is really close to Scotty, and she doesn't want to upset him. So Winston's like, "Okay, I guess I get it, sure." They agree that Kaitlyn's gotta go. I feel like pretty much everybody agrees on that. I think to a certain extent Kaitlyn probably agrees. Okay, so then Rockstar and Scotty were talking up in the HOH room. They're speculating about the different power apps, who's got them, what do they have, are they gonna use it on one of the bros, what's the deal? So everybody knows that Sam got the first one, but they're not worried about her using the power because everybody knows that she has it now, so she doesn't want to put that out there. And Sam has also been telling people she's not going to use it because she feels like it's unfair. Oh, Sam. Okay, so then, number 2. Rockstar thinks that JC got the next power. She says that she asked him if he had it while he was sleeping, and he said yes, he does. And he claimed that it's going to keep him safe for 5 weeks. I just can't even believe that they would think that this is true. And now it's like a lot of people thinking that JC has a power. Really? Really though? So JC also supposedly swore that he would only use this power on himself so they don't have to worry about him using it on one of the bros. Oh yeah, because like if I had a power that's going to keep somebody safe for 5 weeks, I would totally use it on someone else. It doesn't even exist. Just stop. Okay, so then the third week, they think that Kaitlyn may have this one because she had such a crazy week. I don't think I need to go through all that again for you. But Kaitlyn would not be able to keep that a secret. Everybody in the house would know that she has this power. The ants in the house would know that she has this power. People who don't watch this show would know that she got this power. No, she would not be able to keep this a secret. But even if she does have it, they don't think that she would use it to save Brett or Winston, but especially Brett because of their whole blow up that they had the other day. But then again, she does seem to have her own crazy agenda, right? So who knows what she would actually do. All right, so switching gears a little bit, Bayleigh finished her crap app punishment yesterday afternoon. Remember when she started it out and she was using this slow, like, Southern London drawl? It was like a weird mix of a Texas British accent. But she was, you know, really taking her time with it, explaining the story to everybody. But man, by the end, she's like, to be or not to be, that is the question, and blah, 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 blah. Like, she was going through it. So she finished that. Good for her. I thought it was a fun punishment, and I'm excited to see it on, I think, tonight's episode. Alright, so then back to the game. Fessy and JC were chatting in the lounge room, and Fessy's like, are you telling people that you have a power? Because people think that you do have one. And JC is like, do you really think that I would tell Rockstar if I had a power? She would be the last person I would tell. So he confirms he does not have a power. He was just playing along. I mean, do they really think that somebody could be safe for 5 weeks like that? I mean, like, yeah, they've done it in the past or whatever. Just, like, rarely. But usually they only give that to vets. They're not going to give it to some normie. Okay, so anyway, then they're discussing the vote. And JC is like, initially, I wanted Brett to go. But after his whole blow up with Kaitlyn, I want to keep him because he's going to target Kaitlyn. That's great for me. I want Brett to stay. So Fessy's just like, okay. We know that Fessy, at this point, is planning on voting for Brett to go because that's what his alliance told him. Alright, so then Winston, he's still making the rounds, campaigning. At one point, he was in the lounge room with Rockstar, Tyler, and JC. And Rockstar straight up calls him out for never approaching her last week to ask about her vote when he was up on the block. So he's like, oh yeah, you're right. So he apologizes. He says he assumed that her vote was set. He said he didn't want to disrespect Swaggy by asking Rockstar for her vote. So, I mean, he was giving a lot of excuses, and Rockstar's just like, you're supposed to talk to everyone when you're on the block. That's how this game works. I'm curious to see what Angie would do, or Rockstar would do if she was on the block, because people are so quick to say, like, how you should act when you're nominated, but then when you actually are, it's completely different. So then Winston is like, all right, well, I'll talk to you tomorrow about it for sure. And then Tyler and JC are like, no, we'll go now so you guys can talk. So Winston makes his pitch to Rockstar. Again, he's not so great at this. He's like, you know, obviously I won't target the people who vote for me to stay. There's no way that's true. There's no way that Winston would work with Swaggy's old crew if he stayed this week. No. So Rockstar has a couple questions. She wants to know, whose idea was it to throw out her and Bayleigh's names at the beginning of the week to Scotty? Because remember, Winston and Brett were claiming that Rockstar and Bayleigh were two votes to flip to evict Steve in the first week. So Winston's like, a lot of names were coming up. It all happened so fast. He doesn't really give her an answer. So then Rockstar also says, you know, I heard that last week Kaitlyn made some deal that if she put up Swaggy, that it would guarantee safety for her, me, Bayleigh, and Fessy. Is there any truth to that? And Winston's like, I don't recall her outright telling me anything like that. in reality, Kaitlyn was only trying to secure safety for herself and Fessy. Haley and Rockstar were not included in that. Okay, so Winston is like, to wrap things up, I think it would be good to keep me because I'll be a big target. Okay, so anyway, meanwhile, Kaitlyn was talking, but more so crying and whining to Brett in the blue bedroom. Didn't they already, like, hash this out? Or I guess this is partially because of his power veto speech as well. So she says she was really upset that he made a dig at her during his speech because apparently he said something along the lines of, I had a vision. And she was like, he's attacking me. I'm personally attacked right now. This is not okay. It's not okay. So Brett is saying it wasn't meant that way. He was just trying to make Scotty laugh and it worked. So then Kaitlyn brings up the other fight because she was also upset when she heard that Brett was trying to get her up on the block. And she's swearing she was the only one campaigning for him to stay. She must have said about 5 times, literally the only one. Brett, I was the only one. Not true. She was the only one on her side, but Brett's whole side is behind him. So Kaitlyn's like, it hurt because I was on your team and I really loved you, Brett. She didn't laugh. I really saw a friend in you. Oh my god. So Brett is like, yeah, you're right. I should have listened to my gut and not the people who said that you were campaigning against me. The multiple people who said that you were campaigning against me. And Kaitlyn's like, well, I want to know who was telling you that because they're going to be my next target. So Brett is not giving up that information. He is not giving her names. So then Kaitlyn is all like, I'm the deciding vote this week. So, like, if you tell me who said it, I'll vote for you to stay. Wow. Okay, number 1, that's a bitch move. Number 2, she's lying. She's going to vote Brett out either way, but she's trying to get the names here. Also, you are not the deciding vote. Okay? You're not. But anyway, she's still not getting any answers out of Brett. So she's like, well, Bayleigh made it seem like JC was the one who told you to tell Scotty to put me up on the block. And Brett, again, says he's not going to throw out names. He's not going to blow anything up right now. No. So Kaitlyn's like, all right, well, again, if you want my vote, you're going to have to come back and give me some information. So we'll talk again tomorrow. You know what I would say? Never speak to me again. Okay, so anyway, also during this conversation, Kaitlyn was like, wow, my body's getting really hot right now and I'm shaking. She says that she's trying to be told something right now. Yes, it's me telling you, stop. Just stop, okay? Because it's ridiculous. Okay, so after this conversation, Kaitlyn tells her allies that she's still voting Brett out no matter what, but she just wanted to make sure that they're good, you know, outside of the house. She wants to make sure they're still going to be friends. Alright, so moving on. Old Sacred 6 is pretty confident at this point that Brett will be going this week. Their whole crew keeps saying they're voting him out. That's like 5 votes right there. You need 6 to evict. And Tyler keeps telling them that he's going to do whatever Kaitlyn wants. But there is no freaking way he's going to do that. He is just placating them right now. So they also think that Sam and JC will vote Brett out. Nope. And crap, they think it could even be a unanimous vote this week for Brett to go. But in reality, it's more like 6-5 with Brett staying. Yeah. Alright, so later, there was some non-game related drama. TMZ. Okay, so JC, Bayleigh, Scotty, and Fessy were up in the HOH room. They're talking about each other's like height and weight. And then Bayleigh asked JC if he's considered a little person. So let's not forget, JC mentioned in his preseason bio that he is very sensitive about his height. He's very sensitive about this topic. So he's like, you mean like a dwarf? And JC says that's a genetic condition. He's just a short guy. So then Bayleigh's like, all right, I have a question for you. Is there a difference between a midget and a dwarf? So JC is trying to explain that's really like a derogatory word to little people. It's not cool to say it. So he starts comparing it to other slurs. he mentions a slur for, like, gay people. He mentions that it's, like, the N-word for black people. But he doesn't say the N-word. He says the N-word. So Bayleigh tells him, you can't say that. Don't do that again. That was out of control. So JC is like, well, it's different because I was trying to explain something. And Bayleigh's just like, no, you can't say that. So then the feeds go down for like 45 minutes. So when they come back, you can hear Bayleigh and JC. They're still arguing about this in the background, but there's no camera on them. So you can't really make out what they're saying, but you can hear the raised voices. I believe they were in the lounge room, and you can hear it because Fessy, Scotty, and Haley were all in the bathroom area, and there was a camera on them. So I don't know what exactly was being said, but I don't think that anyone should ever say that word. And she clearly was uncomfortable with it. I think he should have been like, you're right, I'm sorry, I won't say it again. At the same time, I think everybody could be a little bit more sensitive to everyone else because obviously JC was offended with the word that Bayleigh used. So couldn't everyone just be like a little bit more understanding? That would be nice. All right, as I sit here like this. Okay, so let's talk about today. Today, could this be the season that we finally get a functioning all-girls alliance? I don't know. So the girls were crossing that BB aisle to talk today. Rachel was talking to Rockstar, Haley, and Kaitlyn up on the Sky Bridge. And the feeds came in mid-combo, so we didn't get to hear the whole thing. But it sounds like they're discussing an all-girls alliance. Haley's like, it's 2018, girls take over. Rockstar says they didn't put such a strong cast of females in here to not do this. So it all sounds great. Everybody's like, woo, huzzah. Then they start discussing this week's vote. So Rachel says, I'm going to vote for Brett to stay because I'm closer to him on a personal level. I like him better. And Kaitlyn is like, well, obviously I'm voting for Brett to go. So Kaitlyn says, I respect you, but the fact that we have this undeniable girls connection, it's disappointing for any girl to vote for him to stay after what he said to me. It's offensive. Wait a second. Is she saying that she was offended when he was all like, I had a vision? That's what she's talking about? Because if that's what she's talking about, that's ridiculous, okay? She said, you're never going to win against Brett. We have a chance to beat Winston and stuff. But then, which is fine, like, whatever. That's, like, rational game talk. But then she starts saying again, like, all the girls need to come together and see what he did to me. Really? Really? How is Kaitlyn already ruining this before it even lifts off the ground? So they're still talking like it's going to happen. Haley wants to call them man-eaters. Kaitlyn is already designing some merch. Yo, this merch is never going to make it to production because this is not happening. So Rockstar is then saying that she would like Fessy and Scotty to be the last two to go, like the last two guys to go. This is never going to work. You're already saying which guys you want to stay till the end, and they're both from your side. This is not happening. I'm sorry to be cynical, but like, how long is this actually going to last? It's not. Okay. So then, after this conversation, Angie and Angela, whoa, we're talking in the lounge room about this all-girls alliance. And Angela's like, yeah, I heard, rumblings of it around the house the last few days because people were already talking about it. And she says, I love it. Let's do it. But she said it in such like a monotone way. It was so weird. It was like she was a robot. She was just like, yes, let's do it. It sounds great. Okay, so then Rockstar tells Sam about it. Sam is like, oh, that's very cool. I love it. That's great. I'm so happy. So she's on board with it. But seriously, how long is this going to last? I would love to see a girls' alliance finally work out on this show. But it's just not looking good right from the start. Right? It's just, they're going to turn on each other immediately. They are. Okay, so anyway, tomorrow is the eviction. At this point, Winston is still going. It looks like it's going to be a close vote. perhaps a 6 to 5. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.